Hello, today we're going to be making some adorable blue overalls that are size 9 to 12 months. I'm going to be using this yarn. It's a weight 4, and I think I'm going to need 2 skeins of it, but we'll see. Also, you're going to need some buttons. I haven't decided for sure if I wanted to do these lighter ones or darker ones, so I have them both out. For this kind of yarn, I'm using a size 5mm hook, and I also have a ruler so that I can make sure it measures correctly. Okay, to start off, we are going to make a chain that is 7.5 inches or 19 centimeters long. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do 2 more chains, so it's going to be 37. And then I'm going to, without letting this get twisted, I'm going to connect the first chain with a slip stitch. And then I'm going to chain 2 and put a double crochet in each of these chains around. Okay, so now I'm at the end, so I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet. I'm going to chain 1 and turn, and then I'm going to do a double crochet in that first loop. It's kind of tie right there. And I'm going to go all the way around. So slip stitch at the top of the stitch, chain 1 and turn. Now I want both of the legs to be at the same place of the color here, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this off and start the other leg. If you're using a solid color, you can finish the whole first leg first and then do the whole second leg. Okay, so I did 4 rows on this side, and I'm going back up to this side to keep the color stripes pretty close to the same. I'm going to show you how to do a magic knot. At least that's what I call it. So first you're going to take 1 string and you're going to tie a slip knot around the other end. See, it's very slippy. You can go back and forth very easily. And then you're going to take this one and tie a slip knot around that first one. Then you're going to pull them together, and you can cut these super close. That's what makes it kind of magic. because they will pull against each other and it won't come undone. That way you don't have to weave in ends. I don't remember which way I was going, so there we go. So I'm just going to do four more rows of single crochet, or sorry, double crochet in each stitch, and then chain one and turn. And then we might need to add a few stitches to kind of widen it for the chunky baby thighs. So I'm going to go ahead and meet you in 4 rows. Okay, so I did a couple more rows of that. We're going to do another magic knot on this one. And a slip knot. Okay, so the inseam for these overalls for size 9 to 12 months is going to be about 8.5 inches. So I'm going to go up here to about 6 inches, and then we'll meet back when both of these are about 6 inches. Okay, so I have these legs both at about 6 inches, and we want it to widen just a little bit as it, as the inseam goes in out like that. So start this round with an increase. And then we're going to go ahead and continue doing the double crochets all the way around, and we'll see you back at that point. So I just joined these two, or this round up, and chained one and turned, and I'm going to go around and join them up with a slip stitch, go around, and then do a double crochet. So it's going to be not this row, but the next row that will have an increase. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I'm coming back to the spot. So we did the increase there and went around. Now we've gone around almost again, or again and then again. And so we have the increase here. We're going to finish this row, do a slip stitch, turn, and then do an increase. Then we're going to measure it after we do that row. So there's the slip stitch, turn, increase, and come around and then slip stitch it at the end. Okay, so we have along here, just past almost to the 9, for the 9 inches for the inseam, and the thigh we have 5 1/4 folded in half, so that will be almost to 11 inches around for the to make room for the thigh. So now we're going to join these together, and I'm just going to pull that one tight and then tuck this in to sew in later. And let's see. Can't remember if I was doing the outside. Yeah, I was doing the outside. Okay. Oops. Okay, so now we're going to attach these by doing a slip stitch between the last stitch in here and this stitch. And then we're going to chain 1 and turn, and that will be, this is going to be the center of the back. Now we're going to work on the inside and do a single crochet.
Whoops, double crochet.
Then make sure we get this first stitch, the first stitch there is kind of hidden. We're going to do a single crochet in all.
Still double crochet, not single.
Of the ones around here. And then back around here all the way to the back to this. Guess I'm getting this stitch that we went into, and then the back side of the slip stitch. Oops. I want to get 2 strings there. And then make sure we get into this one. And there. And now we're going to go around this leg to the start of this round and slip stitch into that. Okay, so I'm back to the back of this where we started. I'm going to make sure I get into that stitch and then slip stitch right here. Chain 1 and turn. Just make sure I got it laid right so nothing's twisted. Okay. Okay, so we have the first round of the pants, the top of the pants done. And we're going to want from this inseam up probably about to 6.5 to 7 inches. Just going around and around. Every time you get back to this beginning spot, you're going to chain 1 and turn. Oops, I didn't do the chain 1 apparently. And you want this to stay the same number of stitches around. You don't want it to grow at all. So I'll meet you back in a couple of inches. Okay, so I have this up to 7 inches, and now I have some stitch markers, and we're going to mark where we want the little bib part of the overalls to start. I'm just going to get 2 of these out. And the way I like to do this is to fold it in half like that. And then just go over approximately an inch and put the stitch marker there. And then I'm going to count the stitches from the corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the 6th. And then let's see if this one ends up the same. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go over one more. So it's on the 6th. Okay, now I'm going to look at it and see if I like how if I think it looks about right. Okay, so we're going to make some ribbing on this here in the back. We're still going to work in rounds. Okay. Okay, so we're going to chain. We have the 1 chain there from the chain 1 and turn, and then we're going to chain 6 more. 1, 2, I just dropped that one. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to wrap this around and then go into this chain. So we're going to skip that first chain and go into that next chain. We're going to wrap around, pull through, and then we're going to turn and pull this all through the other 2. So wrap around into that next chain, pull through, turn, and pull it through the other 2 loops. So we're going to do that all the way down. There should be 6 of these stitches. Oops, what? Didn't go through all the way. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now you're going to do a slip stitch in the next 2, and then chain 1 and turn, and you're going to get this front loop and do the same thing on all of these front loops. So wrap around, pull through the other loops, wrap around, and then pull through. There's 5 and 6. Chain 1 and turn. And then we're going to go down, doing the same thing, doing it into this very front loop. So wrap around, go into that front loop, pull through, and then pull through the 2 loops. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 slip stitches, chain 1 and turn, wrap around. And I like to hold this so I can easily go in there. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, chain 1 and turn. And we're going to go all the way until we get to this first stitch marker. Okay, excuse me. We're here to this stitch marker. So I'm going to come back down here, and then I'm going to do 4 more rows, because when I put in the stitch markers I did it to where I want the end, but we actually want to continue this ribbing for 4 more rows. So I'm going to take that off and do the 4 more rows. If you look here, you have the little ones that pop up. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's as far as we want it. Chain 1, and then we're going to come in to this on the second chain, or the second stitch, and then we're going to pull through both of those, and that's going to be our first double crochet. And then we're just going to double crochet across until we get to here. Actually, we need to move this. So that it's the same spot. One, two, three, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I think that will be the right spot. Okay. Now, if you've watched any of my tutorials before, you'll know my rule is that homemade stuff is allowed to look homemade. So we just do our best and be kind to ourselves. Okay, now I'm going to go into this next one that this stitch marker was in. I'm going to do the double crochet, and then I'm going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, oops, 4, 5. Yeah, I think this is right. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull this in, doing the same stitch before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 slip stitches, chain 1, and turn. I'm going to do that all the way till I get to here. Okay, So I'm going to come back down this, and then I won't have room to do 2 more. 2 slip stitches. So I'm just going to come down here, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm going to do 1 slip stitch, chain 1, and then I'm going to tie it off with not too much but a little bit to sew it together. So let's see. Let me grab a darning needle. Oops. Okay, so we're just going to sew these together. Just like this. And then I'm going to sew them back down. I want this seam to be pretty sturdy. Okay. And then along this back, I'm going to just kind of hide this in here, going up that way, and then around and down back through the same place that we just went. Oops, let's get all the way inside of there. And then back up. And this, I've found, holds it tight. I'm going to pull it a little bit and then cut it off and pull it even. Okay, so here we have this. I like this stitch because it makes it stretchy, but it also kind of holds it a little bit tighter. Okay, so now we're going to turn this way, and we're going to go right here and just attach this, leaving enough string to like weave it in. And we're going to do a double crochet all the way, double crochets all the way across. Now, I'm going to do this last, actually, I think that is the last one. Oh, I'm going to see what it looks like if I slip stitch those together. Yeah, there's definitely a spot there that needs to have one more double crochet. I'm going to slip stitch this together, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch 5 times, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Chain 1 and turn. Okay. Here we go. So now we're gonna do front posts where there's this thing, and then back posts front post, back post. So here's going to be a front post. You just wrap it around and then do a normal double crochet. And this one you're going to wrap it around to the back and then do a normal double crochet. Wrap it around the front. Ah. And then the back. And then this last one will be around the front. And then we're just going to do regular double crochets until we get back to the ribbing part. So here we go. We're going to start with going around the front post. Back post. Ah, this is my problem. There we go. Front post. Back post. And then front post. And then chain one and turn. Now, we're going to continue the pattern of doing front posts and back posts, but when you chain one and turn, you have to make sure that you do it the right way so that they're the same. And then we're going to do a decrease, so I'll show you. So this one was front post, so now it's going to be a back post, and then front post to how we're now. Go around. Front post, and then this last one should be a back post. You'll see how they're the same. And then we're going to do a decrease. So we're going to pull in halfway. We're going to wrap around, go into the next one, pull in halfway, and then we have 3 loops on there. We're going to pull through both of those. All 3 of those. And then we're going to do regular double crochets until we get to this end, and we're going to do the same thing, a decrease right on the end before we do the front and back posts. I dropped the stitch. There you go. Okay. Yeah, that's correct. And now I'm going to do part of the double crochet, go to the next one, do part of the double crochet, and then finish off both of those. And then right here we have these posts that we're going to match from what we did before on the other side. Come on. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to chain one and turn. Okay, so we're going to do front post, double crochet, back post, front post, back post. Come on, Why is it getting stuck? And then the last front post. And then we're going to start each row with a decrease, but not decrease on this side. So I'm going to do a decrease. And then do regular double crochets all the way across. Okay, and then we're going to do the front post, back post, front post, back post, front post, chain one and turn. And then we're going to do a decrease here on this side, the beginning of the row. So these posts correct. Why do I keep doing that? Okay. I'm struggling with that today for some reason. Okay, then we're going to do our decrease. Okay, so we're going to, from this edge, the bib part is going to go up between 7 and 8 inches, wherever you want it. So I'm just going to keep following this pattern. If it starts getting small too fast, then we might have to do some backtracking. But we'll see. Okay, I'm here at about 5.5 inches, and I'm not going to do any more decreases. I'm going to go up to about 7.5 inches. So I'll see you then. Okay, so I have this up to about 7 inches. So what I'm going to do is a half double crochet across to kind of give it a more finished look, and then we'll start the straps. Oh, where did my loop go? There it is. We're just going to go into the top of the thing and do a half double crochet. You pull through and then pull through all three. Wrap around, pull it through all three. Okay, I'm gonna chain one and then cut it off with enough to like weave in and pull that knot tight. So the things we still need to do are to make we're gonna make a pocket and the straps and then attach the buttons. So we're gonna start with the straps. I dropped my yarn. Where's the end? Okay, we're gonna start with the straps. We want them to be, let's see. So the 7 inches, and then we're gonna go up to 11 and then back down. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we want them between 16 and 17 inches. So how we're going to do that is I'm leaving a little bit of a tail here to sew. Actually, let's get that a little bit more to sew it on. Okay, and then we're going to chain 5. Actually, sorry, chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're just going to do 5 half double crochets across. So we're going to go back and forth. Of course, then we're going to do chain 1 and turn. And you can make it like how we did the thing, but then it will take longer to get to the inches we want. So I'm just going to go into the top of the stitch and do 5 half double crochets across, chain 1 and turn. And I'm going to do this for the first 11 inches or probably 12 inches, and then we're going to make some buttonholes. So I will see you in about 12 inches. So the strap is now at about 12 inches, and we're going to add some buttonholes. So we're going to do a half double crochet, and then actually I think I'm going to use a smaller button. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets, chain 1, skip there, and then do 2 half double crochets. If you're using a larger button, then you can adjust that as needed. And then I'm going to chain 1 and turn and go another row, doing 5 half double crochets, chain 1 and turn, 5 half double crochets, chain 1 and turn, and now we're going to put another buttonhole in. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets, chain 1, skip, and then do 2 half double crochets. Chain 1 and turn. Oh no, I have a tangle in my yarn. There we go. Okay, so do a half double crochet in each of those, including the buttonhole. Another half double crochet in each of those. And now we're going to do another buttonhole, and then I'm going to measure it. Okay, so I have my tape measure over here. So we're at 14 inches. We're going to do probably 2 or 3 more buttonholes. I want it to be around 16 to 17 inches. Just to give it so that there'll be room to grow. I'll fold that up later. Because we're going to be using it again. And then another buttonhole. 1, 2. Okay. Now we're going to do one more buttonhole and then measure it. Okay. So let's see, I have 4 buttonholes. Perfect. It's at about 16 and a half. So we're going to go ahead and chain 1 and turn. And then do 5 excuse me, do 5 half double crochets. 3, 4, 5. Chain 1 and turn, and you could do a half double crochet, a decrease, and then 2 half double crochets, chain 1 and turn, 1 half double crochet, decrease, 1 half double crochet. And then we're going to go ahead and tie it off here and leave a little bit of yarn to weave in. Okay, pull that tight. So there we have our 5 buttonholes. Okay, so it's the next day. I left my favorite crochet hook downstairs, the one that like has a switch, like the twistable tops. So I'm still using a 0.5 millimeter, or sorry, 5.0 hook. These were my previous favorite, and they feel so light now. I hope that my wrist doesn't start hurting, but I don't want to run downstairs because I have a slightly injured ankle. Okay, so now we're going to work on the pocket. I want this to be, I'm going to pull out some of this to make it so it's a little bit lighter. There, I think that's enough. I think that's to where it's lighter. And I will save this with my, I'll save that with my junk or scrap yarn. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and cast on. And then crochet 13. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We're going to do a half double crochet on the, not this first chain, but the second one. And then we're just going to do a half double crochet around all along this whole thing. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And then we're going to do an increase with the half double crochets on the ends. So that, and then regular half double crochets across until we get to the last stitch. Okay, and then an increase in this last stitch. And then chain one and turn. And we're going to do a half double crochet in each stitch. Okay, perfect. So we're just going to go up maybe like 2 or 3 more rows. I'm going to check what it looks like after 2 rows and then decide if I want to do a third row without any increases. Okay, so now we have it to here. I did end up doing the 3 rows, and we're going to do a couple more rows. We're going to do the back loop, the very front loop only on a half double crochet all the way across. Okay, then we're going to chain one and turn, and then this time we're still going to take that loop, but we're going to take it from behind. So we're going to wrap and then go back here, leave the top of the stitch and go get that one from behind and do a half double crochet. So we take it, grab this one from behind and do a half double crochet. No, actually, back trick. I don't want to do a half double crochet there. I think I just want to do a slip stitch. So I'm going to go behind, I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. I think that would be tall enough for the pocket. And it just kind of gives a nice edging for the pocket. Originally I was thinking I wanted to do 2 rows of this and then the third one with that, but I think it's getting a little too tall. So I'm just picking it up from behind. I'm not used to this crochet hook anymore, so I use the weighted one. Okay, just a few more stitches and then we're going to tie it off. One more. This one's hard for me to get into. Okay. I'm going to tie it off with enough yarn to sew all the way around. So it's just going to go on like that. I love it. Okay, so I think I bumped this. So I think I may have bumped that and it might have been off screen. We'll have to see here in a little bit. But I'm just going to go ahead and sew on the straps. And to do this, to make sure these are in the same spot, I'm going to decide where I want them and then count the stitches. From the edge. So 1, 2, 3 of those is on the third one. Okay. First I'm going to do a basic stitch, just like sewing these two together, and then I'm going to fortify it because the strap does take a lot of the weight and pressure of the pants. Just want to make sure it's not going to come off. Okay, now we're going to do the other one. Okay, there's that one. Now we just have a few more ends to weave in. So we have the leg things where we start here, and then the piece from the middle for where we attached the two legs. So I'm going to go ahead and do that one first because I'm afraid I might forget it because it's not visible from the front. Okay, so I got all of the things tucked in and cleaned up my workspace, and now I just need to sew on the buttons. I have these two different options, and I think I like these bigger ones better. I just want to make sure. Oh yeah, they fit through perfectly. Okay, so I'm going to put those little ones back in their spot. I think this needle will fit through buttonhole. Yes, it will. Okay, I think they turned out so good. Let's check the measurements. So from shoulder to cuff, it's just over 26 inches. The inseam is 8.5 inches, and so around the whole waist will be 22 inches. It's 11 inches flat. Anyway, so I think it turned out great, and I hope you enjoyed. I'd love to see comments with pictures of your overalls. Have a wonderful day.